Yeah, Chris Evans is a single man no more. The Captain America star has been in a long-term relationship with 26-year-old actress Alba Baptista, and the couple recently tied the knot in a private, intimate ceremony at their Boston area home. Their guest list included Chris's Marvel co-stars Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Chris Hemsworth, and Jeremy Renner, as well as actors John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. So what do we know about his wife?
Baby!
Alba Baptista is a Portuguese-Brazilian actress born in Lisbon, Portugal, where she spent most of her life. She is best known for her work in Netflix's beloved Warrior Nun and the Academy Award-nominated movie Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. In November 2022, People reported that Evans and Baptista were an item. They are in love, and Chris has never been happier. His family and friends all adore her. Chris previously talked about wanting to settle down and start a family, so we're just thrilled that he found his soulmate. Congratulations to Chris and Alba. Now let's dive into Chris Evans' intriguing relationship history before Alba.
Because I do struggle I get anxiety about certain things and...
Yeah, even Captain America gets anxious sometimes. Oh, sorry, we obviously meant Chris Evans.
Sir, has Chris Evans made a difference in your life?
No.
Oh, he's right here.
Yeah, do you want to make a difference in mine?
I'll do my best.
He may be a real stud on screen, but in real life, Chris Evans is a sensitive guy. He longs for ordinary things like a happy family and kids. My mom told me that the best thing you could give a woman was attention. She said, listen to her instead of trying to impress her. She taught me so much about women. We bet this style of upbringing has something to do with Chris Evans being such a dreamboat. Well, maybe he turned into one eventually.
Okay, guys, now Chris and I are joined by Chris's worst nightmare, a bunch of lesbians that don't care that he's hot.
In fact, Chris has not always been a heartthrob. It might be hard to believe now, but the actor was dumped on his prom night. I was 18 and in love. We danced all night, then she got back together with her ex. It broke my heart. What do you think a young man with a broken heart could do in such a situation? Get drunk, keep partying, cry all night long? Chris didn't get into details while sharing this sad prom night story on a talk show. What he did tell, however, was that the next morning he woke up on the lawn near his parents' house. Do you think his parents got the situation right? We think so. The actor has always had a very close relationship with his family, and we mean it. The first thing he did when he lost his virginity was head home and immediately tell his mother.
She's a really, really, really cool woman, and I did. I raced home, and I said, I did it. I don't know what I was doing, but I think I did it.
And I didn't cry.
Oh, no, I cried.
Whoa. How about this level of trust between kids and parents? We don't know, however, whether young Chris was informing his mother about other adventures he had at the time. From the very beginning of his career, the hunky film star had plenty of folks swooning over him, so it's no surprise that he's had a few famous girlfriends. For instance, Jessica Biel. The two dated from 2001 to 2006. It was a long-term relationship, and they were even thinking about marriage. The actors were so cutely gushing over each other at the time. While opening up about her relationship with Chris, Jessica said that he once surprised her by scattering rose petals on her bed. Doesn't it look like a fairy tale? But less than 1 year later, the romance was history. No one knows for sure what went wrong between the two. In a 2013 interview, Evans admitted that he could have been extremely argumentative in his past relationships. As usual, nothing specific. However, speaking of his character from the movie London, in which he starred opposite Biel, the actor admitted he could relate to, quote, the narcissistic drug addict he played. He noted, I've had those arguments with women. I've said those things. Wow, what a twist. And here's another one. A couple of years later, the actor shed light on a possible reason for their breakup. He opened up about the way his intense work schedule could affect relationships. Letting someone go to work with someone for 3 months, they won't see them. It certainly puts the relationship to the test. Now, let's move to Evans' romance with comedian and fellow actress Jenny Slate. They first met in 2015 on the set of the movie Gifted, and soon they started hanging out together. Jenny, by the way, was still married to her first husband, but then they got divorced. In the meantime, electric chemistry between Chris and Jenny could not have gone unnoticed. Fans still doubted whether the two were dating or just hanging out until the couple made it official with their first red carpet appearance. For a while, they were #couple goals, but 2 years later they called it quits. Slate had only this to say at the time. I'd love to be his friend one day, but we threw down pretty hard. No regrets though. The two were an on-off couple for a while. Despite the split, Jenny was believed to be staying at Chris's place from time to time, and they also continued flirting on social media. It seemed like they couldn't and didn't want to be without each other. However, the pair eventually ended their romance once and for all. When you watch Chris Evans on screen, you probably see an all-action American hero. But behind the helmet, Evans is just a human being who suffers from anxiety. Unlike many other Hollywood A-listers, the 39-year-old doesn't try to hide these unpleasant feelings under the veil of crazy parties and a glamorous lifestyle. According to Men's Journal, Chris always chooses to stay in rural Massachusetts just a few miles away from where he grew up, instead of staying in sunny LA or the other celebrity central locations. In fact, he's quite a homebody. As the actor himself says, what he wants more than anything now is a family of his own. He told Men's Journal, "I really want kids. Yeah, I do. I like pretty pedestrian, domestic things." After all, Evans believes that it is not fame or career that would make him proud decades later, but the connections he has built with his loved ones. When you're old and on your deathbed, looking back at your life, it's not going to be the films you've made or what you've accomplished, it's the relationships you have. You've survived by the things that matter, the people you love and those who love you back. Rumor has it, Chris was dating several of his Avengers co-stars, including Brie Larson, Scarlett Johansson, and Elizabeth Olsen. Of course, those were probably just rumors that were far from the truth. Surely, he has been linked to a number of famous ladies throughout the years, but it hasn't transformed into something serious. It looks like, on the one hand, Evans is striving for love and relationship, but on the other hand, he has developed a rather independent lifestyle. "I'm the one who fears being enveloped. I was always a really autonomous guy my whole life. Camping by myself is one of my favorite things." This explains why Chris leads a relatively low-key life. He genuinely enjoys solitude, and he absolutely loves dogs. His own dog, Dodger, is somewhat of an internet celebrity. Fans were delighted when the actor got his doggo a sweater just like the one he wore in the movie Knives Out. If you're ever fortunate enough to love someone and have them love you back, it's worth protecting that. It's rare that someone can truly know you. And if you've broken through that kind of wall, I think it's important to value that. So true, Chris. So true.